Well, hello everyone. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. I'm P.L. Stewart. It's afternoon here. Um, just doing another one of those videos, spontaneous video reviews and overviews to be exact, about an incredible series that I finished recently. A series by one of my top two favorite authors in the world, favorite fantasy authors in the world, Christian slash Miles Cameron. He goes by other pseudonyms. However, the series I read, which I'm going to talk to you about today, is under the name Miles Cameron. And that series is Age of Bronze. I just recently finished reading Breaking Hell. It was absolutely awesome. I love this. It was fabulous. Um, I'll just flash quickly the entire series here. So we have Breaking Hell. That's the third book in the trilogy. This is the second book in the trilogy, Storming Heaven. Look at those covers. They are stunning. And the first book I have in hardback, Against All Gods. Just an incredible series. That's definitely going to figure in my top 10 traditionally published series of all time, I believe. We're going to have to do a re-ranking of my indie and traditionally published fantasy series, re-ranking based on my recent reading. There's been some jostling, some movement on those lists, so I'm going to have to update it. In any case, quickly. So let's quickly talk just a little bit about the author himself. Christian slash Miles Cameron, of course. I've dubbed him the most interesting man in the world. Check out my page chewing interview with myself and Christian and some other page chewing colleagues, such as Steve Talks Books. It was done a while ago. Such a fascinating individual. Christian slash Miles Cameron, of course, is an impeccable researcher. He's a historian via education. He has worked in law enforcement and intelligence. He also is an expert reenactor. So he participates in all these incredible ancient reenactments of battles, and he travels all over the world to do this. And he, as a result of this and everything else, his education, etc., he writes some of the most realistic battle scenes in the fantasy, science fiction, historical genre, especially historical fiction and fantasy. When we're talking about the ancient battle stuff, they're so authentic. He just brings this gravitas to the work that is unrivaled, save for a few, like the John Gwynns and the Bernard Cornwells and the Janny Words and the Stephen Erickson. So he's someone who knows what it feels like to be be cocooned in armor and fight with sword and spear and staff and shield. He has actually done that, at least with facsimiles or replicas of those things, and of course, in some cases, essentially the real items. So he is someone who, if you're looking for great battle scenes, Christian Cameron he's an author you need to turn to. You want to learn how to write great fight scenes, large epic scale fight scenes, smaller, like one-on-one v1 duels, anything in between. Christian Cameron's your author. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, this book here, this has, and again, the series is entitled Age of Bronze. So there's a reason for that, of course. So let me just get more into what the series is about. Essentially, the plot, to without spoilers, to keep it really simple, it's this disparate group of down on their luck, in some ways, mortal heroes, and they are rebelling against corrupt gods, this pantheon of corrupt gods that is very reminiscent of Greek or Roman ancient gods of mythology. So it's really epic, obviously, based on that alone. Christian Cameron does an amazing world building. There's a lot of political intrigue, really unique magic systems, and his magic systems are they're not as detailed as someone like a Brandon Sanderson, but they do follow a set of rules, and there is logic applied to his magic. But when it comes to the bronze aspect of the Age of Bronze, the weaponry and the technology is based on essentially the magic side, the real world Bronze Age, right? And of course, because he is a historian, this is something that he's very familiar with. He wanted to capture the feel of that era. And remember the Bronze Age, an era where actual writing on tablets was born. The Christian Cameron gives you, when you read these books, you can almost smell the bronze armor, that coppery smell. He really tries to give you some of the features of that age. He did a lot of research on the Mycenaean swords and things like Minoan bull leapers, and and you get he very much conveys, and just the metaphor for bronze is that while it's weaker than steel, it's as hard as iron when it's properly worked. And you have these warriors, these expert warriors, that use bronze, and bronze has this very finite alignment of the edge, and it's something he really emphasizes in his fight scenes. So he incorporates all of these elements from besides you're thinking of more the Greek, Roman influences because of the gods I talked about. The elements from Babylonia, from Africa, from Mesoamerica. There's some really great ancient cultures incorporated into this book. But essentially, it is about mortals revolting against these oppressive gods, and just the part of the reason is the sheer amount of destruction and havoc and callousness and misery that these gods enact upon the humans. And it is just so. And part of the challenge for these humans is to maintain their humanity and not become like the gods that they're rebelling against. That's part of the concern for these humans. Besides the fact that they're overpowered, outmatched. So what are they going to do to fight these omnipotent beings? How are they going to do it? But the gods aren't invulnerable, and that is definitely proven in Cameron's world. So this series is absolutely phenomenal. There is an element of real tragedy, heroism, very funny. Christian Cameron, a bit of the sweary type humor. Some of the gods are very acerbic, but in a very funny way. It's great stuff. You get everything in here. As I said, political intrigue, romance, amazing battle scenes. And one very fascinating thematical thing that was done here is Cameron explores. I want to highlight this particularly, pacifism, and there's a culture in this book that they're pacifists. And the question is, how does a pacifist, how do people who are sworn to peace and who abstain from violence, how they survive in this barbaric, violent world ruled by these callous, unfeeling gods who do all these horrific things? How does someone who refuses to fight back in some ways, refuses to kill and wants to abstain from violence, how does someone like that survive? Where do they fit in this world, in the backdrop of this rebellion against the gods? So again, this is absolutely fantastic stuff. I'm holding up Storming Heaven. So in order, let me just grab the first book. So Against All Gods, published in 2023. No, sorry, 2022. Against All Gods, published in 2022. Storming Heaven, published in 2023. And Breaking HEL in 2024. It is a trilogy, so this series is complete. Again, a great place to start, I think, with Christian Cameron's amazing epic fantasy. The man writes everything. He writes historical fiction. He writes thrillers. He writes fantasy. He writes in several genres as subgenres, and in my opinion, he's a master in everything that he lays his hand to. So, again, just a quick overview of why you should read this series, why you should read Christian/Miles Cameron in general. Excuse me. Check out his YouTube channel, especially you authors out there who are interested in adding authenticity, perhaps, to your fight scenes. His fighting YouTube channel shows some amazing stuff. He handles all types of weapons with he and his fellow reenactors, and they're showing you, how these weapons would actually have been delivered in the field in ancient combat times, how to repel certain attacks. It's really great stuff. So check out his fighting channel. Check out his website. Check out that interview I have with Christian on Page Chewing. Definitely check out this series if you want big epic scale fantasy, especially fantastic fight and large scale battle scenes. Definitely Christian Cameron is an author you're going to love. And he's extremely prolific. He has so many books. If you're not necessarily into fantasy, perhaps you'll love some of his historical fiction. Perhaps you'll love his science fiction or his mystery or his thrillers. He's written so many books. Again, he's so prolific. And everything I've read by him is just absolutely phenomenal. He is by far one of my favorite authors of all time. So that's my quick encouragement and endorsement as to why you should read Age of Bronze, the trilogy by Christian Cameron, mortals battling against these callous gods. Great stuff. Check out this trilogy and check out everything by Christian Cameron because he is absolutely phenomenal writer. So that's it for me. It's just a quick overview of the Age of Bronze series. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you soon.